Hello, I'm Matt Roberts with Herschler Fleischer. I'm excited to be here to present to you with my colleagues Ashton Allen and Gabriella Canamar about the Arva Apartments project in Arlington County. I'd like to start today by providing you with a brief overview and summary of the project, as well as some of the background on how we got here. This site is located along Pershing Drive at the intersection with Arlington Boulevard at the gateway to the Lyon Park neighborhood. It's currently split zoned among a couple different districts, and the applicant is proposing to consolidate the property under the CO15 zoning district. In addition to the rezoning application and 4.1 site plan application for this project, the applicant is also requesting an amendment to the GLUP pursuant to the special GLUP study that the board approved for the property back in July 2021. That special GLUP study looked at the property and thought about what to do with it in the future, ultimately recommending a series of varied heights and mix of uses on the site in exchange for a series of community benefits, which we will discuss a little bit later in this presentation. Ultimately, these applications will result in the redevelopment of the Days Inn site into a mixed-use residential and retail building with multiple new open spaces and other community benefits. It's important to note, though, that some of these community benefits will need to be delivered in conjunction with other entities, including VDOT and other utility operators along the existing Arlington Boulevard Trail.
I'm Ashton Allen, Principal at Studios Architecture, and I'm excited to share the design vision for the new Arva Apartments. As Matt mentioned, the site was the subject of a Special General Land Use Plan, or GLUP, and the sketch above was part of that report. This sketch is of our proposed design from the same point of view. Our design is based on achieving the same key goals established in the GLUP. Those include improving the public spaces by providing a new park and extending the multi-use trail along Arlington Boulevard, providing a gateway to Lyon Park when paired with the Pershing apartments across the street, providing height and density along Arlington Boulevard that step back down toward the neighborhood, and finally, embracing site history. This is the ground floor plan of our proposed design. The new park is in the dotted line at the corner of Pershing and Wayne, and the new trail segment can be seen along Arlington Boulevard to the right. Another important part of our design is transforming the car-centric parking lot that's there today into a multimodal hub. One way this is achieved is by creating a new muse, or shared-use low-speed street, that brings vehicle traffic under the building from Pershing to Wayne. You can also see a bike and walking passage that connect the multi-use trail back to the neighborhood through the muse. The existing car-centric site was visionary at the time it was built. It was originally developed as a modern or mid-century modern style motor hotel, and the design emphasized horizontal lines with a bold identity along Arlington Boulevard with a modern glass wall and blade sign. The motel has gone through many changes and identities, and over time the building and sign have aged to the end of their designed and functional lifespan. Our application includes a third-party review of these elements and recommends that those be reconstructed. As our team began to design the architecture for the Arva Apartments, we looked for inspiration throughout the site's history, from its original sketches, through examples of modern and mid-century architecture, and finally contemporary expressions of horizontal modernism with light brick. We also were inspired by a historian's characterization of the modern style as the eclectic coexistence of traditionalism and modernism. We also took inspiration from the Lyon Park neighborhood, and here are a few examples that celebrate a diversity and coexistence of style. As we set out to add our design to this collection, we wanted to draw inspiration from history, but also make our own statement in this chorus of voices. Here are a few diagrams to help explain our design concept. We started by celebrating the Arva identity on the site with the reconstructed blade sign and the lobby. Then we layered on the density and heights established in the GLUP in horizontal bands with a base, a middle, and a top. Then we took the middle layer and, inspired by the triangular form of the blade sign, we split and we folded the walls to break the building up along the long facades on Arlington Boulevard and Pershing Drive. Finally, we carved the balconies and a passageway to the trail to embrace biophilia and connect people to nature all around the building. These design ideas come together with our style precedents to create the building architecture. Here we see it floating above the intersection at Arlington Boulevard and Pershing Drive. In this view, we've moved to the sidewalk across Pershing Drive and are looking at the drop-off courtyard and the Muse as it passes underneath the building. The building lobby is just to the left of the courtyard, and the storefront of our retail equivalent space is on the right. Moving further down Pershing to Wayne Street, in this view, you see the new park at the corner, the retail equivalent storefront at the left, and the low two-story portion of the building to the right of the park. In this view, we're floating above Wayne Street, with the new park on our left and the Muse in front of us. You can also see the pedestrian and bike passageway to the Arlington Boulevard Trail at the end of the Muse. In this view, we're on the new multi-use trail along Arlington Boulevard looking north. On the left, you can see stairs that go up to the new lower-level walk-up apartments, as well as a glimpse of that pedestrian bike passageway under the building. In this last view, we're looking back at the proposed Arva apartments from across Arlington Boulevard, and we can see the folded walls, carved balconies, and the iconic Arva blade sign. Let's take a closer look at how we're reimagining the site for multimodal transportation. The project will be very well connected to bus, walking, and bicycle networks and proposes 207 new parking spaces and 102 long-term bike parking spaces. Here you see how the Muse is being planned to bring vehicular traffic and maneuvering interior to the site and under the building. We are planning only to allow right-in and right-out access from Pershing Drive, and Wayne Street access connects back to Pershing. Sustainability is also central to our design. First and foremost, the proposed design will result in no surface parking, more biophilic green spaces, increased permeable area, and a more sustainable land use density. The Arva Apartments project is targeting LEED Gold and an Energy Star score of 75, with high energy performance, appropriate bird-friendly accommodations, and a sophisticated stormwater management system.
Hello, I am Gabriela Cañamar-Clark, partner at Land Design, and we are collaborating with the Landscape Architecture and Exterior Experience Design and Vision for this exciting project. Overall, this location is prime for public space, as it is surrounded by open space in various scales and purposes. The Arlington Boulevard Streetscape and Plaza, which is multimodal in nature and program, the North Pershing Drive Streetscape and Public Park, the North Wayne Streetscape and Dog Area, and the Muse or Shared Street. The corner plaza at Arlington Boulevard and North Pershing Drive offers an opportunity for a very lush respite from the high volume traffic along Arlington Boulevard, where pedestrians can pause under the shade of trees and be immersed in an urban garden. It also sets the stage for the building lobby in a manner that further celebrates the modern elements of the architecture, with eclectic nature, yet functional and legible to the pedestrians and the shared use path users that will converge in this space. The Arlington Boulevard multimodal streetscape design will offer a unique experience, with the trail nestled between two rows of trees. The first row of trees that is closer to the road is existing, while the second row is proposed. In addition, a stormwater bioretention system with additional trees is proposed in front of the lead walk to the residential units fronting the street. This unique opportunity to provide a deep building setback that can be repopulated with vegetation will reinforce this project's commitment to biophilic design, with an immersion in nature, a provision for urban wildlife corridor, noise attenuation via tree canopy, and enhanced views. The Muse or Shared Street is flanked by a dog run area at the intersection of North Wayne Street, and it is proposed to be fenced and buffered by gardens and trees and will allow off-leash activities. The Shared Street provides areas of refuge for pedestrians when automobiles are passing by at a slow speed. And the front stoops of residential units are defined by raised gardens, which provide definition, rhythm, and cadence to this intimate streetscape. The design of the future park space at the corner of North Wayne Street and North Pershing Drive will be defined by community input. This illustrative plan is only meant to provide a glimpse of the site's potential to be a true neighborhood serving open space that provides flexibility in form and function for gatherings and events, as well as for everyday use and enjoyment. A great opportunity for the biophilic principles of design to be included and celebrated in this project.
As mentioned earlier, the special GLUB study envisioned that in exchange for the redevelopment of the site with the mixed-use residential and retail building, that a number of community benefits would be delivered by the applicant. Among other things, the applicant anticipates a series of community benefits with this project that include a revitalization of the Arlington Boulevard Trail along the Arlington Boulevard frontage, a new on-site open space that will be open to the public, protected bike lanes along Pershing Drive, as well as on-site affordable housing and LEED certification for the project at the LEED Gold level.
At this time, the team plans to build the Arva apartments in one phase. The entire site will be closed down for the duration of the construction, from excavation through the construction of facades, and finally, landscape and hardscape. The intent of hauling is to be restricted to major routes in and out from Pershing Drive. Thank you so much. We're thrilled to have presented and looking forward to your feedback. Thank you.